So the U.S. Justice Department has concluded that there is no Epstein list to be found, and SEAGULLS are now on the drunk and disoriented list. Hit subscribe and we'll get into it. So the U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI have concluded that sex offender Jeffrey Epstein did not have a so-called client list that could implicate high-profile associates and people like the president, and that he did take his own life, contradicting long-held conspiracy theories about this infamous case. While campaigning last year, Ronald Gump there, the president, promised to release files relating to the disgraced financier. But since he returned to office in January, some of his supporters have grown very frustrated with the administration's handling of the case and for failing to deliver new revelations. So the issue reemerged earlier this year amid a public spat when Trump and, the former first man there, the first buddy, Elon Musk, got into their spat. If you want a little background on this, I figure some people might not know. Epstein died in a New York prison cell in 2019 as he awaited trial on sex trafficking charges. His death was more than a decade after the conviction for soliciting prostitution, for which he was registered as a sex offender.
Ow.
Yeah. So it was a long history with this piece of garbage. According to a 2-page Department of Justice and FBI memo, investigators found no incriminating list of clients and no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. Right, because Trump would keep that for himself to keep the blackmail up. just off the top of my head. Investigators also released footage they say supports the medical examiner's conclusion that Epstein died by suicide while being held in the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. Some people have theorized that Epstein was murdered to stop him from implicating government officials, celebrities, and other business tycoons who were involved in these crimes. FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dang Boingo Yoingo had previously questioned the official narrative regarding Epstein's death, but as soon as they were invited into the Trump administration, they have both staunchly said that Epstein took his own life. Funny,
those two are total conspiracists.
Yeah, until they're told not to be by the man who holds the ring, right? The memo adds that investigators did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So, I mean, I wouldn't trust Ronald Gump as far as I could throw him. And if there is incriminating evidence against other people, I'm not saying there is, but if there is, I would totally believe that the Trump administration kept it for their own nefarious use later on down the road. I don't believe that. I don't believe this whole wash of it. I don't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that there is incriminating evidence against people. It should be released. I mean, that's the whole point.
Right.
It should be investigated. That's what. No, I'm not going to go back to Project U-Tree again, but or those DJs, the court. But there is another nefarious guy out there, a real flirter with the younger ladies, and apparently Robert Feynman was on his list. Yes, release the Einstein files.
Yeah, right. So let's see here. Are you coming at us from where now?
Okay. Going over to the gold desk. That's right, because drivers across the United Kingdom are being warned to look out for drunk seagulls.
What?
Ahead of flying ant day. After reports of gulls becoming disoriented from gorging on the airborne insects. According to something wildlife rescue, the birds appeared intoxicated after consuming large quantities of flying ants, which release formic acid, a chemical which can interfere with the gull's motor function. The result being wobbly birds stumbling near roads, appearing injured or behaving erratically, and swearing and just being obnoxious.
Yeah. picking fights, you know.
Yeah, how can you tell the difference? I don't know. They're already aggressive and nasty, aren't they?
They start developing an Irish accent, you know.
Glaswegian. I know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where this has come from because apparently, Flying Ant Day is the annual summer event where swarms of black garden ants take to the skies to mate and establish new colonies. We all know that. We've seen that over the years. Well, I'm not saying we're watching ant porn. That's just you.
You're not.
But yeah, we've had ants swarming around, for years. I've never heard of bloody drunk seagulls before, but apparently the insect feast is harmless to humans. What do we eat? We don't eat them, do we? What are you talking about? But for seagulls, it's another story. The ants release formic acid as a natural defense. The girls eat too many and can appear drunk, stumbling around and unable to fly properly.
They were just at Clarkson's new pub.
Apparently, it just says which it puts them at serious risk, especially near roads. What about the road? I thought you were talking about the road. The drivers had to watch out for them, not the seagulls.
Yeah.
Members of the public are advised not to panic if they spot a ghost acting strangely, as symptoms can resemble bird flu.
What?
What does bird flu look like?
So this is going to affect Americans' production of eggs?
Where this is going, fresh water and rest is usually good enough to see the birds recover. What are we doing now? Are we collecting the seagulls up and putting them in a little bed with a little bowl of water next to them? What's going on? Wildlife groups are urging caution. Don't approach or attempt to move the birds.
They
Avoid. I don't know, and don't call for unnecessary euthanasia if they are simply recovering from the ant-filled stupor.
Yeah, we don't shoot drunken Irishmen, so don't shoot drunken seagulls.
Who is talking all this shit? No one has ever been worried about this crap before. Why is it all of a sudden a problem? Oh dear.
So if you've ever sat down with a seagull and had a few beers at the pub, hit like, hit share, and maybe hit subscribe as well. Show your support for drunken gulls.
3 seagulls walk into a bar. If you're a drunken seagull, please leave us a message in the comment section. Explain what was your fascination? What you want, whiskey or ants? Just tell us what you want.
And watch where you're walking. Don't walk into the bar. Walk through the door and get your order in. Stay chilly.